Hi, I'm Ryan Augustine, the captain of the national beach football team of Trinidad and Tobago. You're watching Scoreboard on the Axe television network.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on Axe Television Network. It's always a pleasure to be here in your company every Tuesday evenings between the hours of 8 and 9, where we bring you something relevant in this sporting discipline. On tonight's show, we want to say first of all, a big congratulations to the Trinidad and Tobago beach soccer team. One of their most successful and major tournament victories just a couple of weeks back at the Lucayan Cup in the Bahamas. On tonight's show, we have the coach of the team, Benny Astoga, yes. From the US. He's currently the coach of the beach soccer team. Welcome to Axe Television Network.
Thank you for having me.
We have Zane Coker, the goalkeeper,
yeah, man, nice.
And Ryan Austin, the captain. Augustine? Okay, Augustine. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure and welcome to Axe Television Network. And on behalf of myself and the studio, the station, we want to say a big hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how big is this victory for beach soccer in Trinidad and Tobago? And I mean, when I say how big, you all defeated Mexico, right? And it's difficult to beat Mexico at any level of football. Far less, beach soccer, which is relatively new to Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, anyone of you could start the discussion.
Cap.
The first time we played Mexico, we lost 9-1, and this was in Bahamas 2 years ago for the first World Cup qualifiers that we played in. That was stressful, We were very confident actually, thinking that we could pick them and have a really good showing, but our inexperience showed. The next time we played Mexico was this year in El Salvador, and we lost 4-0. And we continue to say that was not really a reflection of the game, but I guess I would say that as a Trinidad player. But this time around it was different. We came out on top. I guess we had the same energy. We were a little more confident. We've been training. Technically, we've improved a lot. And the experience showed now that we played in 2 World Cup qualifiers. We've been playing in bigger sports tournaments. We have players that have gone abroad. And yeah, it showed, we came out on top, and that was really important for us.
But the previous 2 occasions that you were lost to Mexico, were under the same coach, right?
Yeah, well, no. First it was Coach Suarez from Brazil.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah,
right. And Coach Benny was our assistant coach then.
And the mixture of the team,
I would say the core of the team is the same.
The same?
Honestly. Yeah.
So it has to be the experience and learning the game, because beach soccer is so much different to normal football, and there's a lot to be learned. Now, let's talk a bit briefly about the tournament itself, right? From the inception. I know you all played Bahamas. Take me through the tournament.
Okay, well, we played Mexico first, which was on the Saturday. I think the energy was there. We were positive, and we wanted revenge. We've been beaten twice, and we know we always had the talent and the skill and the team to come out there and actually pull a victory from them. But the experience showed every time, so that they were a really good team. They were technical, and we have a lot of aspects that we are better than them are in. So that we have quicker players, we are more skillful, They are harder players, and to the points. So like, and they play the same game in grass football, they like to play this ball down to the corner and then play it back in and attack, and we kind of realize that and try to counter that by marking that off and then having our own counter attack, you know what I mean? I think, going into the game we were positive, and we started off really well, so that Munchin scored the first goal. chipping the keeper. You know, chipping a keeper in any sort of
Yeah.
So that did a lot for our confidence. Then Showtime scored, so we were up 2-0, and this is the first time we were ever up to Mexico. Like, it never happened before. Knowing how beach football goes, however, anything could happen. Just because goals scored.
Yeah, like by the seconds.
Yes, so that it went from 2-0 to 2-all at the end of the first third. And then they went up, and it was 4-2. And then our goalkeeper came back with a goal 4-3. And then in the last third, we pulled out 2 goals and defended until the end. And that was good.
Let me jump across to the coach. Since taking over responsibility for the team, you have seen progress, I guess, because, I mean, with this cup, it tells you that, you know, the guys have been progressing, right? When you look at the Mexicos and the other teams that you all have played so far, you know, where do you see the level of Trinidad beach soccer in comparison to the outside, maybe the U.S. where you're from?
Well, you know, beach soccer, first of all, is a type of sport which the players have to adapt to. It's not every day you just have a player can just walk on and dominate. You know, it takes a little bit. It takes some physical training. It takes some tactical training. A lot of tactical training and technical skills, which a lot of the Trinidadians already possess. So that's one aspect of it that we don't have to work on as much. Tactically, I think we drilled a lot in these last 3 years. Tactical movement, tactical play, and scoring off of set possessions. And that was another avenue that we exploited. Going at this tournament, I mean, I've always seen this team to be a very dominant team in our CONCACAF region and being the #1 team coming out of it. In our qualifiers in El Salvador this year, like I said, the score doesn't reflect how the game went, you know, and I could tell you a lot of things about the calls and the refereeing and all that, but, you know, at the end of the day, Mexico won, and we didn't achieve our goal. The men were very disappointed in that showing. So coming now to the Bahamas was a great chance to show, prove to themselves that they could do what exactly they wanted to do in El Salvador. It was a little bit different. The atmosphere was a little less stressful. The men were able to focus a little bit more higher intensity. And one of the major points in this tournament was the men finally sacrificed. And sacrifice is a big word when I work and move around Trinidad. The men wanting to sacrifice themselves for the better of the team. And that we saw in the game, because there was a crucial point in the game where one of our players, which Showtime, Caroline Woodley, defended the ball popped back up, and the guy was coming to do a bicycle kick in front of the goalkeeper, and he dove in front of the ball, sacrificing himself, injured himself at the same time, but for the better of the team, because and that was a pivotal point. As much as I want to say that, okay, the goals came and everything, that is what described how we have to go forward, you know, in the future to be a strong team, to sacrifice. Who's willing to sacrifice? And men sacrifice. I played men lots of minutes in this, and not one complaint. They just did what they had to do, and that sacrifice. And I think at the end of the day, when you have that combination finally, when you have the tactical, the physical, the technical, the sacrifice, I think that's when you'll be a very strong team and can go very far.
Zane, how was this victory for you? Because I knew you have been around beach soccer for a while, you know, and this has to be one of the greatest achievements for the team. Tell me your feeling.
I mean, words can't really explain it. When the point came and we were playing Mexico and we were 5-4 up, it was about probably a couple seconds ago, maybe about 4 seconds or 3 seconds ago. And that overwhelming feeling of, yes, we have done it. We have beaten Mexico. I mean, at that point with 3 seconds ago, I still made sure, or the team made sure, hey, it's not over yet. Because a goal could score in nothing, right? And when we had the ball, and the final whistle blew. It was like, hey, wow, so long we have been waiting for this day. You know, they beat us 9-1 before, they beat us 4-0 before, right? And to finally beat them, I mean, to beat they're number 8 in the world, right? And to beat any top 10 team in the world in any sport is very hard.
Yeah.
You know? So beating Mexico was a real amazing feeling for us, the team. It was more important than anything else for our beach soccer program going forward.
You know, something I wanted to ask, I mean, do you think that beach soccer, and do you think that your victory is being appreciated by Trinidad and Tobago, right? Because, I mean, you all won this cup. You all came back, right? And from what I gathered, like it was just a normal day for you all, right? And this has to be a great achievement because, I mean, it's a national team that went out there and won a major tournament, right? So, do you all think that you all are appreciated by John Public? Or should I say, do you think that beach soccer is widely recognized in Trinidad and Tobago as a growing and upcoming sport?
All right. I want to let the coach speak also on this point. But Trinidad and Tobago is a very result-oriented society. You know, if you understand what I'm saying. We base solely on results, right? And that's how you get support, right? So it's not like we just go out there, we win one tournament or we win something or we participate and, you know, we have a national team going and we just expect the whole country to jump on board. It don't work like that. Hey, right? Basically, we need to continue doing what we're doing, keep working hard, keep our face always in Trinidad and Tobago.
No, but the team has been performing consistently. I mean, you all always have been up there, and then you have to take into consideration that you all have not been at the sport for years where other teams are there longer, right? And as you just said, to beat a number 8 team, right? I mean, it tells you that, you know, there is something good here, right? And you all have been consistent over the period. It's not that you all have been, you know, going out to tournaments and just not performing and, you know, right?
No, I hear you.
Yes.
I mean, as far as performance is concerned, we're lucky. We have a good group of people around us, in the foreground and in the background. We have a dynamic group that wants to see good things, and they push certain things in a way that so we can perform. You know, especially we talk about the TTFA. I mean, they've given full blessings, even though it's hard maybe not to rally up, you know, all these sponsors that they were hoping to get on board, but these results change their minds, you know, and that's where I said sacrifice. You have to, this tournament, the sacrifice the men put in and they have the result. So now it's coming down to like, okay, we're starting to get recognition. People are starting to look at us, seeing what we're doing. Other teams are starting to look and see what we're doing to get these kind of results. And one of the things was, we won this cup. Yes, I'm very happy for the men. You know, it's a great feeling. I used to play. It's a great feeling to win for the men. But at the same time, as a coach, I wanted to know, okay, that's just one part of it. We have to go back and fine tune, because once we meet these guys again, they're going to come back with something else, and we want to be ready. We want to be like, okay, we can sustain this. It's not a fluke. It's not just a one-off thing. We want to be able to say, okay, here comes the big boys of beach soccer coming through, just how everybody was thinking about Mexico. You know, we talked about it. It's sometimes the myth gets bigger than what's going on, and just that alone changes your mind on how you're going to play. But now you're stepping up to be that team that's, you know, creating that myth around the Caribbean, around the CONCACAF, you know, and basically the world, because players are now starting to play abroad, and this is another great thing. You know, as they play abroad, I look into for some new, fresh faces to bring in, to groom, and to continue the development in the right.
What
direction.
was the reaction after that victory against Mexico? What was the reaction with the crowd and the Mexican team? Because, I mean, I'm sure that Mexico went into that game, believing that they're going to win. There's no way Trinidad going to beat them. What was your reaction like after, on both sides?
Well, I guess let's comment on our reaction first. As the game ended, heads were down in the sand, guys praying, guys thanking God because we came out on top. Relief because we've been wanting it. It's been hard. The game was nerve-wracking because we were down. We had to get back on top. We had to hold our lead. Our biggest striker just got injured, saving our lives in the game. It was amazing, honestly, on our side. On Mexico's side, however, guys didn't want to shake our hands. I know the coach spoke to Benny after and was like, "You're putting my job on the line," making a joke, and it's true because you have a top-8 team in the world, Mexico, who don't expect to lose to Trinidad and Tobago, who's ranked far lower down there.
What's your ranking?
We are 53rd right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're fairly new to the game. It's only a couple of years we've been doing it. And we've been showing promise every year. We've been improving. So I know they didn't expect it, but they knew that we were coming. Their response wasn't positive at all, and not expected. The crowd, had our backs. I know it's Bahamas too, so it's not like if it's Trini's there and people are partying and whatever.
But anywhere you go, just find some Trinis.
Yeah, of course.
There
That's
was
what
one in the stand. And he was winding up and everything, waving the flag. That was pretty fun to see him.
No.
Just in case he didn't know we noticed.
On the Trinidad team, basically it's a local-based team. Well, I mean, Zane, you had a stint in Switzerland, and Chad, he plays outside too.
Yeah, and also Dominic McDougall.
Right.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a local thing. Training facilities, I know for beach soccer, I know it's a bit of an issue because the sun on the beach is different to what you have on the court.
Yeah.
How difficult it is for you all to really train, get fit, and to be match ready? And what are some of the challenges that you face, to keep this team up to a standard?
First, let me start by saying I should thank the Trinidad and Tobago Volleyball Association for allowing us to share their facility.
At Chaguanas.
Yeah, at Chaguanas. They do a great job with giving us some times that we need, and they understand that we're a sand family, kind of sport family, and they allow us to use their facility, and I have to thank them for that, because without them, understanding, we wouldn't have a facility. So yes, thank you, for that. The other thing is we have another great facility is Maracas Beach, or Tobago and Turtle Beach. So I mean, we have some great venues when it comes down for that, but right now in town, yes, it is difficult. We do the best that we can. We're hoping that soon in Port of Spain there's going to be a facility. That's my dream. I'm pushing for that. That way we have facilities in different parts of the country. Yes, so we're maybe looking for one in the south, looking one for in town, looking one for east, west, and we can promote this sport around, because we're very much want the country to be involved in it. We're not just based in one area, and our team dynamic shows that too. We have players from Tobago's from South, and the West, looking for the players in the East as well. So, it is a little difficult. It's challenging, but I think with challenges, it makes a certain kind of character, out of the players.
Okay. Well, I know we need to take a short break. When I come back, I want to chat with Zane to find out a bit about his stint in Switzerland. So viewers, you are looking at Scoreboard here on Activision Network. We're talking to members of the Trinidad and Tobago Beach Soccer team, the champion team. I will be back after the short break.
Hi, I'm Benny Astorga, head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago Beach Soccer team. You're watching Scoreboard on Axe Television Network.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Scoreboard here on Axe Television Network. Before the break, I mentioned to Zane that I need to find out a bit about your stint in Switzerland, experience gain, and what it's like, and what do you think you brought back from that stint to the current team?
I mean, first of all, I want to say all thanks to the Bain Hatchets. That's my club team in Switzerland. I want to say thanks firstly as well to Fred Dam. He's actually the vice president of the team that Chad and McDougall played with last year.
Yeah.
Right, in Switzerland. And he made it possible for me to get a stint in Switzerland with Bain Hatchets. Right? We went over there. Basically, the guys were amazing. Friends for life, if you want to put it like that, you know. They really looked out for me out there. I stayed with the president of the team, Sasha Fight, who was an excellent host. Right? He made everything comfortable for me, like his house was my house.
Yeah, well,
you know,
I looked at some pictures and
yeah,
I see where you were like home.
It was actually pretty. It's hard to have a foreigner, especially somebody who you don't know personally, to live in your house for 2.5 months. You know, and there was at no point in time any sort of regret on his part or his girlfriend's part as well of me staying there with them. So I thank them a lot for that. The team was very professional. I mean, in everything they have pros and cons, right? It's at a point in time where the coach left, so we didn't have a coach, and the team actually had to come together and make it happen, right? So we had a lot of professional attitudes, taking the team forward onto the next level, which was also hard. I mean, in the end, it worked out pretty well. It worked out perfect. I mean, I went to the Beach Soccer World Cup in Portugal. I played for the Bain Hatchets. They have actually helped me to improve my game personally a lot. I move from like 65% to maybe 90%, you know, in just a short space of time, just by playing and getting the constant experience playing against some of the top players in the world, you know. So that was amazing. That was very, very good.
Brian, as the skipper of the team, you have additional responsibilities, right? But your level of involvement in the game, what do you see you accomplishing in the sport of beach soccer? What would you like to accomplish?
I would also like to go abroad to play. I'm actually planning to leave for Europe next year, summer, to go and play. I actually went to Brazil this year to another training stint with Flamengo and Botafogo. Thanks to sporting company. They helped me to fulfill that. And it was a really nice experience. Seeing these guys, skill and talent and experience. It's not something that we can't accomplish, but it's just a matter of time. Just continue playing and being persistent and really putting in the work. As you know, also the sport is from Brazil, so I kind of got it from the core, and that was important for me. So that every day I would report to the team and let them know, hey, this happened today, and this is what I think, and this is what I think we should work on. And we need to understand that we're actually not that far off, but we need to continue playing, and we have the ability, we have the talent. Other than that, as I say, I honestly, when I now started playing the game, I actually hate it.
How you got involved in because I'm sure you used to play football before, right?
Yeah, I played football before.
Right. How you got involved in, you know?
So I was
because everybody in Trinidad really is a beach soccer player, you know, because once you go by the beach,
you must take a little trip
yeah.
I was invited to the Bagel Sports Tournament by Chad Apu, which is another player on the team right now. The Bagel Sports Tournament was started by Kylie Kwai and Chapman and so on. And honestly, when my first tournament, I honestly hated beach football. To be really, really honest. Like, playing in the sun, you're running, you're getting tired fast, you have to lift the ball. It's a totally different game. And you think that you're moving from grass to sand as football. I've been doing this.
Yeah, because beach football, basically, the ball always off the ground.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and of course, I was told that, but only experiencing, you realize, whoa. And then after like the first year and then the second year, I don't know, I just somewhat adapted and while continuing playing. And then another important thing, like Bego Sports has developed over the years. So the quality of players and teams that have come.
Because last year they had guys from Brazil. Last year, I think last year tournament was one of the better.
Oh my God.
With guys from Sweden, Switzerland. Was Switzerland?
Yeah, Switzerland. It was the Miami team, my team from Miami versus Switzerland.
And like, there's one player specifically that really motivated me to kind of commit to the game. And honestly, I've only been really committed to beach football alone over the past year and a half. And this was Laurent, right? He's Spain's number 10. This guy is like the Messi on the sand.
He was in the Bego.
Yeah, he was in the Bego.
He flew in for the finals.
For the finals.
He flew in for the finals.
I remember that, I spoke to him at the end of the
That's how big the tournament is getting down there. Like, you know, men finishing in Dubai Cup on a plane and flying back down. You know, it's funny what he said, though. When I started playing beach soccer, first practice I went to, I was falling all over the place, everything. I just gave the ball to the coach and said, I don't think this is for me. And I was leaving. And he just said, no, just stay, and you're going to get better in time.
Because it's easy to play when on sun, when it's flat.
When you're closer to the water where it's compact,
but when that sun starts
when you go in the deep part of the sand, and the
yeah.
sand is hot and it's deep and everything, it's like, it's a whole different...
But tell me a bit about, I know you're from the States, so tell me a bit about how you got involved in beach soccer.
Well, the funny thing is I tell the story to everybody. I said, you know, I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm in the capital of the United States. There's no beach there, you know. I played grass football. After high school, I went to Europe. I played. Came to South America. I played. And then I came back to the States. I relocated to Miami. So playing around in Miami, there's a lot of Brazilians who play. And at one point, they were starting to get this beach team together, and they needed American players. They had all the Brazilians, but none of them were Americans. They didn't have a passport. So a friend who knew me said, why don't you come to this practice, and we're doing this beach thing. And so I said, okay, you know, because I had some friends from D.C. who played beach soccer a long time ago when they first started. So I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And like I said, at first practice, I said, it's not for me. And I was leaving, but they kept me there. I worked on it. Started playing for the national team with great experience, and this is what I want these men. We haven't even. This is the tip of the iceberg. They haven't seen the rest yet, you know. And I want them to get those experiences, going to World Cups, making friends all around the world. And this sport is bigger than football. It's a feel-good sport. I mean, people really like this sport when they see it. I think pretty soon they're going to be debuting it for the Olympics. So this may be an Olympic sport coming up. So there's a lot going on, you know, and not only that, if you have a lot of pride and you've always wanted to play for your national team, here's another outlet to play for your national team. If you can't make the grass squad, you got the beach squad. You can't make the beach squad, there's a futsal squad. I mean, it's like there's so many avenues opening up now for sports that I think, you know, people have a lot of chance to represent their country, and, you know, be a proud moment. Tell your kids what you did when you were young, you know?
What is next for this team? Where do we go from here? What is the next major tournament coming up, you know? I know that you all didn't qualify for the World Cup, right? But I guess just as how Mexico beat you all twice, and that motivated you all to come back. I know you all come back strong. So what is next for the Trinidad and Tobago team? And are you all back into practice, or there's a break?
No. We back. We wanted to make a quick statement saying that, you know, okay, we won that cup. That was a great experience. We'll keep that experience going, but we're going to get back to work. Nobody's going to rest. It's not time to party. I think, you know, me being an outsider coming to Trinidad, it's safe to say that we like to party.
So you are here permanently right now?
Yeah, you know, well, I don't think we could talk about that right now. But I'm here. I'm committed. As much as I can be here, I'm here. So now it's no longer. I'm not coming in for a week and leaving for 3 weeks. I'm in here. I'm committed. We're getting more training in. We're pushing the men to get physically fit, and I am looking for more players. I am always looking for players. I invite people in all the time that I can, and get the experience in growing the team. These men have to understand their positions are not safe. They always have to fight for it, and that encourages the same fight on the pitch.
That always keep the level.
Keeps always the level high, and I'm a real true believer that I had some really good coaches around me when I was coming up in the beach soccer, and I want to just continue on what they passed on to me, onto these men, you know, and I think that's why they're seeing a rapid acceleration in what they're doing, you know. There's no long term, it's everything is short, precise. If you can't give that to me, okay, I'll find the next man, and they're understanding it and they're picking up that
But
pace.
in spite of everything, in what areas do you see that you still have, you know, a lot of work to put in?
I think in areas of tactical, like I said, physical and technical is there. I think tactical with a lot of players is an issue, and I see it grass and beach because I go and help out around in different schools, and I have to say hi to my guys at Trinity East, and good job for winning their first game this Saturday. All right, I just giving a little shout out, but.
You sure you want to make that public?
I want to make that. No, I stand with it. If I'm there, I stand with them. Right?
What's the team they beat?
Speyside, Tobago. So, tactically, I see those kind of things. You know, the development. You know, things that should be in place already. They're not there. So, you know, now the new direction, looking in the development of the youth, is making sure that our kids are tactically sound. So as they get to those ages where they're going to play for national team, the coaches are working on something else than we're working on, you know, all the tactical skills and, you know, little things. But in beach soccer, it's so dynamic, and the ways that you can score and the things that are moving, and it's so quick that the tactical play must be in place. You cannot be a player to pass the ball and then watch what's going on. You pass, you get into play, you create space for your next man, you overlap, you burn yourself out, you come out, sub, the next man goes in and does the same thing. So that's the way to reach the top, you know, and that's what we're working on.
Are we going to see the Trinidad and Tobago team as a team in the Tobago Sports competition this year? I think it will be an opportunity for for us to see the team, you know, a complete team there.
Tobago Sports is not a national tournament.
Okay.
Therefore, we wouldn't be playing under Trinidad and Tobago.
But the team could
but
play.
But the team is basically going to the tournament.
Okay.
Right, and we can confirm at this moment that the Trinidad and Tobago national team, well, the national players will be playing in Tobago Sports as a team under the Port of Spain Patriots.
Oh, Port of Spain Patriots.
Right, that will be our club team, and that will be our club team going to different tournaments, not only Tobago, but you know, over the years to come, to keep this team together, right? Both on a club level and an international level.
But major tournaments, what's the next major tournament the team is preparing for?
Besides the Tobago Cup?
Yeah, well, international, I should say, yeah. International tournament.
At the moment, there's nothing quite on the agenda. I mean, we want to get, there's like a Friendlies Cup in Brazil that we want to get to, and that comes up with another point of support. You know, we go out there, we work hard for the Trinidadian public, and now we're starting to look to ask the help of the public to start to look into the investments and the sponsors, and like I said, it's a really dynamic sport. It's really good. It's fun. There's no major history behind it, so everything is new and fresh and on the right track. So with the sponsors, with the sponsor help, with TTFA helping and pushing us, I think we'll be able to get to Brazil and be there for the Friendly Cup that they're inviting us to. Again, like I said, it starts from the men. The men are working hard. They're doing their part. I can guarantee that they are there. A lot of times it's so much that the men don't even want to go to Maracas Beach because I'll be there, and then we'll be training. They're like, oh, we can't even get a little lime in my cooler. There's no alcohol. There's no beer. There's no nothing. It's like it's everything we do. We still just focusing on our training. I mean, you know, so a major sponsor behind us would be great. If not, we're still gonna, you know, sell our jerseys and T-shirts and things that we have to do to fundraise, and find a way to get there.
Ryan, as again I come back to you, have this victory really soaked into this team, and have you all really come to terms with beating Mexico?
I think no, yes. When it just happened, no. You know, it was to really kind of, as you say, to let it soak in and kind of fathom, you just beat the top 8 team in the world. Then it was like, we did it, the game ended, and we were happy, and like, yeah, we have one more game to win before we win the Lucayan Cup. But to really say, we kind of realized that, you know, boy, like, this just happened. Like, like the world's going to hear about this. The world's going to be looking at us now because, and the beach soccer world is pretty connected. Like, everybody knows everybody else. You know, all the teams know the players. And so, I say only after a couple of days pass, and then you hear the messages and emails and people looking out for you.
But you all got any feedback from Mexico as to what, you know, sometimes when teams go back, you know, they are being blasted by the supporters, especially when they are beaten by a lower ranked team, well, and especially in football.
I spoke to Ramon, and it's funny because Ramon is a FIFA beach instructor, and I'm CONCACAF an instructor. Well, I'm also a FIFA instructor now too. But those are the men that taught us, you know. So everything that he gave and taught, I'm applying it, and I push on these guys, you know. So sooner or later, you're going to have to close the gap and catch up, unless the men just can't physically play the sport. But I talked to Ramon, and Ramon was a little just side jokes, and man, now you put me under some real pressure now. I got to go answer some questions, you know. But at the end of the day, he said, I'm happy for you, because he knows how hard I will work and how hard I'll push the men to work. So he was kind of like, you know, bittersweet, you know, kind of thing. Of course, he wants to win. Of course, that team wants to win. Everybody that steps on the sand wants to win. So do we. That helps our development. That helps theirs. But at the end of the day, I mean, yes, they want to win, and he was a little bit, but he was still happy because he knew the kind of men we are and what we represent. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think next time Mexico sees Trinidad, it's going to be a different light, you know.
Yeah. And I guess they have been looking at Trinidad because remember the last 2 occasions we drew with them 4-4, then we came back 3-3. So it's both sides of the defense. We have been, you know, closing the gap.
Anybody watches that game, they're going to understand that we had our opportunity to win that game and seal that game off. And the same thing with Costa Rica. And those 2 teams are the teams that finished first and second out of that and went to World Cups. And we had those men on the line until the little bit of breakaway at the end with Mexico. I can't explain enough about the referees. I won't say anything. I just say it's part of the game. I take my licks and move on. And I think that's what Mexico did too. You know, Mexico took their licks and they're moving on. They're going to Dubai right now in the Dubai Cup. But for the next time, these men, this is where we want to be. In that cup, moving on to Dubai, playing another cup and keep it moving. And we're close to that. We're really close.
Come back, I want to talk about developing beach football in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, are we going to see beach football in schools, like probably have the Colleges League? And where do you see in the next 5 years beach soccer in Trinidad and Tobago? Gentlemen, beach soccer is a growing sport. How do we develop the sport to be accepted by the wider public? Maybe are we to see a beach soccer league in schools where, as members of the team and people who are involved with beach soccer, I don't know if you all have privy to what is going to be happening with beach soccer over the next couple of years.
Well, I mean, to start off with, it's still fairly new in the country, so people are starting to just really start to catch on that we have this team and they're doing well in the development. We are looking at younger development, so that way, you know, when these kids start getting a little bit older, they've already had 3 and 4 years of beach soccer coming through high schools and into the leagues, and then, you know, even onto the national team. You know, it just takes the belief and working with schools, and, you know, like I myself, I go in and I volunteer the time and I work with them, and the staff and the support see the kind of level of professionalism we bring in and what we're doing, and then they start to believe you and trust you, you know, because they got to trust you with their kids. You know, they're not just going to give you the kids and have them waste their time, you know. So we talk to them, we personally, you know, involved with them and say, beach soccer will help just improve the skills for grass. We don't even come at it as, they should just play it. So it's a tool to get fit. It's a tool to get more technically sound. And I mean, just the other day I had Saddle Hill Spurs come out to the beach and do just a training session with me and Zane, which is good, and it sparked some other teams to give us a call, and they're coming out too. So we can use it in that sense as a tool, as a training tool, and then let it develop into something they love, because we can't push them. They have to love it first, and that's what takes it to the next level. And yes, it would be a great addition to high school. I call it high school because I'm from the States.
Yeah.
Football league, to have maybe when they have a break, to add that in, so they're just running and get a little tournament in league and another thing for them to hold another cup up in school.
Were you all a bit disappointed when coming back? You didn't see the media coming to meet you all and giving all you all that, because I mean, it's a victory. It's a tournament. Do you think the media needs to get more involved in beach soccer?
I think, to be honest, we never we didn't start doing it for that at all. Like, we didn't do it for fame or we love this sport. You know? So yeah, we don't think about it at all. It's never media didn't come or the camera didn't get this or that. We love doing it and go to do it as a team. However, the media would help, to get the word out there.
Yeah, because it will help to grow the sport too.
Of course.
Yeah, and then you see, I mean, people will kind of then identify with a face now, and that's how the crowd will come. Because I was even saying over the weekend too, when I was at the FCB Cup, I was saying that it was a great opportunity for the FCB Cup where they could have invited the team to come down. And I mean, made an announcement. This is the beach soccer team that won. Because that's only how people get to know you all, what you all doing, and to know about beach soccer.
Yes.
We got to come together and showcase the team, right? Because if this team, for instance, I'm sure when Mexico win whatever, right? I'm sure they go back home to some sort of, reception, the media, and that is what motivates the team. Now, you all are motivating yourself, right? But what will be better if the country can now come behind all you, right? You all will be motivated more, right?
Yeah.
So, before we end the program, let's talk a bit about using. Are you going back out to Switzerland, or do you have any other contracts coming up?
Through God, all things are possible. At the moment, Switzerland right now is a solid option for me, right? Basically, there are a lot of leagues now, top-ranked leagues. There's Russia, there's Israel, there's France, there's Germany, and there's Switzerland, right? I went outside, and like every other player, I went out there and I made my mark. I made sure I did what I had to do. My personality got me further than I think it would have. Right, and now these guys have no regrets or no doubt in their minds that, hey, Zane is coming back, But nothing is concrete, nothing is solid yet. Basically, I would love to go back to Switzerland, and right now that is my option, to go back to the BN Hatchets and help them to embark on winning our championship out there.
Ryan, you said you have your eyes are set on going abroad, so I guess you have to be putting in the training, because I mean, beach soccer is a sport that you really can't sit down. You have to be, because it's a game that you have to be fit 110% because you're always going. So what are you doing now to keep, in shape?
Well, I
except running away from the coach.
I keep fit all the time. So I go to the gym. I live down Carinad, so I go on Macri.
Okay.
I have a couple of friends who actually saw me the other day back on the beach. It's like, hey, I see you on TV. Oh, you the guy who... And I was like, yeah, and I just kind of introduced myself again and just kind of let them know more about the team and just kind of get us out there. But yeah, as I say, I do my personal fitness whenever we can get a training session in. We do, if it's a couple of times a week. If it's go down on Maracas Beach and get the boys together and maybe have a lime after, let people see us and all that. But yeah, as I say, I'm definitely keeping my fitness up and keeping putting in work so that when my opportunity comes, I will be ready, most definitely.
Well, Coach, I'm talking to these guys here, most of them looking to get contract to go outside. You inside. You home. How have you, accepted Trinidad and Tobago, and what's it like? Tell me.
I accepted it really well. It's that when I came down here, I was.
How long have you been here?
3 months.
Only 3 months.
I was here about 3 months. Just basically on my visiting visa.
Yeah.
I was just here, and just so happened as Bahamas just fit in right at that same time, and I left. And now I'm back. To help out again and keep pushing, but. I've adapted to Trinidad really well. I love the food. I say, like the music, everything. I fit in. I don't have any issues here. Yeah. It's maybe with traffic, but that's like anything. But it's been good. And one of the things growing up in D.C. in that Maryland area is that there's a lot of Trinis live there too. One of my best friends is from Tobago. I grew up with him, and my other best friend's in Jamaica. So, the Caribbean. I grew up in their household and their parties and their fetes and everything. So I had the feeling. So when coming here and working with the men, it was real natural. And now, even more so, we've incorporated a lot of the culture into the team and the way we warm up and the way we get ready for a game and the singing and the spirit, which drives the men even more. So we've allowed that to develop, and it's starting to come out in how they play as well. So not only are we playing a structured kind of football, but we still have a very loose, warm feeling to how we're playing, real vibesy, real soca style of football. And that's important to have your own brand in this sport, because people want to see that, And Tahiti showed up on the scene. Tahiti has this whole, what's the word for that? Haka. The haka they do, and it brings their culture to the world.
And beach football must be played with music.
It must be played with music, so this fits Trinidad like perfect. Anybody that wants to throw a party in a fete, just do it with beach soccer. And you have a perfect combination. You have sports, you have music. In the laws of the sport, music must be playing while you play. And it's even difficult for coach and players to hear each other when they speak on the field. So that's why I say technically, tactically, the team has to be sound, because you can't shout out a bunch of instructions. The team has to know what they're doing at all times. Also, I want to say, be on the lookout for a women's team, because we are training and starting to develop some girls and looking around for women to play beach soccer. So TTFA is behind us, so we really have the support of the office and Secretary General Sheldon Phillips and Mr. Tim Key, right behind us on what we're doing. They see our vision, they see our professionalism, they see where we want to be, and they're behind. Now we just need, sponsors to be behind us, the media to be behind us, media in the positive sense to be behind us. As a coach, I have to look out for my players. So sometimes I worry about too much media, but right now, media is a good to get this word out, because it's a great sport.
Ryan, any closing comments?
I'd just like to say thanks again for having us on. Thanks for all the support that we've gotten for the time that we've started and up to now. And we hope that we continue to get that support in all our endeavors. On and up.
Just shout out to all the sponsors, all the people who have made it possible for us, All Sport Promotions, TDC, the sport company, TTFA.
They can make you the spokesman for the team.
Say that again?
They can make you the spokesman for the team.
No, I just want to say shout out, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. There are times where we think that we can't go to an invitation because it's just, we don't have the funding to do it, and somehow or the other it just happens, So we have to also thank these guys who are always behind us, the coaching staff, Kylie Kwai, Yuri Chapman, all these guys. These are perfect guys for the sport and getting it to going forward.
Coach?
I want to thank Trinidad for having me, accepting me as the coach, and you know, and learning and growing with the country as well as the team. I think that's a great accomplishment in such a short time for these men, and I want to thank them, and I want to thank all 12 men, because it takes 12 to play the sport, and you know, nobody's bigger than the next man, and I wanted to say thank you again.
Also, one more thing, and we can't leave it out. Special thanks to THA. Definitely special thanks to THA. They have been behind us time and time again and pulling us out of a lot of things. You know, so THA's special thanks to you guys in Tobago. It's an amazing feeling to play for Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming here, and I mean, Zane, you will know that when beach soccer had just started, we were the first to really highlight you all, and you know, and we have always been, you know, closely attached to beach soccer. And I mean, to have you all here now, you know, when you all started now to win this major tournament, it's really an honor for us to have you all here. And
thank you.
I want to extend an invitation to you all at any time we can assist in any way possible. Feel free to give us a call. And again, thank you, and we look forward to a spot in the next World Cup.
Yes.
Just want to show the skipper. Just want to show the nation the cup that we have won. Right. This is the Lucayan Cup. There's the medal. It's very heavy. You know. And all thanks to Bahamas and Mexico for inviting us to the tournament and stuff. You know. And they're actually hosting the next World Cup in 2017.
Well, you all will be there.
So we're hoping to be there as well.
Not hoping, you all will be there. Yeah. Well, viewers, we have come to the end of another edition of Scoreboard here on X25, and as I said, we are members of the Trinidad and Tobago beach soccer team, and well, you heard it all. You heard what the trials, the tribulations, the victory, and we hope that you can pay attention to this team, support them in any way, wherever there is a tournament. You know, try and be there and tell somebody, tell your friend, you know, that beach soccer is on the rise. So I just want to say again, thanks to the members for coming down to San Fernando. You know, a lot of people don't like to travel to San Fernando. They're on the Caroni Bridge, but they came down. We wish them a safe journey back home, and we hope that they qualify for the next major tournament, which will be the World Cup. So again, on behalf of myself and X25, congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And we have come to the end of another edition of Scoreboard. We hope that if you missed the night program, any part of it, you can tune in tomorrow at 12 for the repeat of this program. And look out for the FCB Cup quarterfinal match tonight at 10 o'clock, Club Sando versus Rangers. And you will see a member of the beach soccer team, Mr. Woodley, better known as Showtime. And what more could we say about this guy? A hat trick and another Showtime on the pitch. So be safe, enjoy the rest of the weekend. See you next week at 8.